Good evening. Welcome to our third segment of Mindful Mondays. Today, we will discuss how to build your power through evaluation, organization, and setting a routine to win the day. Do you find it difficult to develop helpful habits? Do you find it challenging to put together a plan? Allow JASI, your behavioral coach, and Hellmann, who runs Hellmann's Healthy Hacienda, give you some tips on how to develop an outline of a plan to acquire those habits. So before we get started with any sort of goal, do you need to do an evaluation? For health and wellness, my suggestion would be spend time with yourself. Get to know your true self through prayer, through meditation. What areas are you struggling with and why? Where do you lack knowledge in? And be authentic with yourself about your struggles. So for myself, I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how much to eat, and I didn't know when to eat. So I started my journey because I was just exhausted. I was exhausted, mom of one, and I needed more energy to get through my day. But I didn't want to try one of those fad diets. Like I didn't want to drink cabbage juice for like 21 days and lose all this weight and be super and feel super at that point, but then go back to my old habits. So I was really looking to change my relationship with food. And I think that's the key that some individuals are looking for, is to change your dynamic with food. Food is not the enemy. Food is designed to fuel our body, and that is it. So that's the location where I came from.
So when evaluating your financial goals, first you need to set them. All right. For example, currently, my husband and I were working on paying off his car. So monthly, there may be there's a budget that we have been able to put together, that we're putting away a X amount of dollars on top of the actual amount that's due for his car note. So how we set progress benchmarks is constantly looking at monthly. Let's say for us it's monthly. So every time we make a payment, we're looking at how it's decreasing. And I also have like a spreadsheet that can calculate, if you continue to make these types of payments per month with this set amount of money on top of what you owe, this is how soon you'll be able to pay off that loan. So for us, it's a weekly benchmark. Some people, you may be able to do it weekly, monthly, or even quarterly, but it just works for us to be able to do it monthly. And then if we aren't on pace with that goal, let's say that the excess amount of money that we were putting towards that card note, we weren't able to do so, somehow along the way, we're going to have to make adjustments in our overall budget to make sure we get back on pace. We may have to, put $25 more than we normally would do because we missed that mark, sometime between when we started and through the process of completing this goal. So there's times that you do need to make some adjustments.
That's super exciting when you can already have a loan paid off.
When it comes to organization of your finances, categorize wants and needs. Like, we need to pay off this car. I look at that as a need because we don't want to be in debt. So with that being a priority, we put that need above, let's say, going on this huge, extravagant trip or what have you. So right now, since the priority is to pay off the card note, above all else, whatever excess amount of money is going towards paying off that card note. And having a budgeting system. So out of all of our needs, food, gas, electric, rent, things of that nature, groceries, we have an envelope system. I like using the envelope system. That means we go to the ATM, we take out that amount, some amount of money, and we divide it up in those categories. So for example, groceries is a great way that we utilize the envelope system. If that is, every pay period, it's like 250. We immediately take out the 250 and we budget that for the 2 weeks. So we have, we're not overspending and we're within our budget to make sure that we don't overspend. Because if we overspend, that starts taking away from another budgeting factor. So we don't want to do that. Identify your due dates of bills and paydays, because we set our bills according to our paydays prior to. So say, for example, you get paid on the 15th and that bill is due on the 22nd. Well, on the 15th, that 22nd bill can be paid, but it's still kind of close and when it comes to that due date. So let's try to do it like the first of the month, have that bill paid for the 22nd. So to some, that may be too much in advance, but the point that I'm trying to make is you want to make sure that your payday and how much you get paid at that pay period time, that it's enough to budget until your next check. So you're making sure that your bills are being paid on time to make sure that you're eliminating penalties or having to spend more money because it wasn't paid on time.
I think the next step is going to be organization. So taking an inventory of like, what things do you have in your pantry, your refrigerator, your freezer. So I think that it's huge for you to be just honest with yourself. Are you eating out quite a bit? Are you just making choices that probably are more convenience choices, but you haven't really looked to see whether or not they don't have as much processed foods in the grocery store. So I think we're all busy. And I know a lot of us, we just don't have the time to make everything at home. And I totally get that. One of the things that I struggled with putting like dinner on the table. I felt like it was super stressful for me. I really didn't like it. That time with my family was, again, very, very challenging for me. But if you get organized and you go ahead and develop a meal plan for your week, it gets so much easier and you feel better prepared. And you can actually enjoy those hours in your day as opposed to being stressed out. And you show up at 6:30 in the evening and your husband's asking you what's for dinner and you're going, well, I don't know. And and you're looking in the refrigerator trying to piece together something. When you already have a plan, it just flows so much easier. And that has really been the game changer for me, is having a plan in place so that I can go ahead and go from there and be like, okay, we're going to have this for this day, and then we're going to have something else the next day. And then we usually do a leftover Thursday, which is awesome because then we clean out our fridge because food is so expensive.
Mm-hmm. So setting routines to win the day. Financially, check your account. My husband and I, we have about, I think it's like 6 different accounts, and that it consists of home expenses, it consists of miscellaneous, it consists of our car, vacation. So there's various accounts that we have, and then we have our primary account. And that primary account I check every day to make sure that bills are being paid, they're being deducted, and it's being done correctly. Because maybe there was an error or someone, charged. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's just good to check your budget and make sure that it's checks and balances with your budget and what's being taken out of your account. For those who have credit card statements, I would just recommend that you check it at least monthly, but try to make extra payments before the actual due date to where hopefully you're not getting charged the full interest on the amount that is actually accrued on your account, so that you're paying more towards the principal. So that will help in that aspect of getting that paid off. And then remind yourself of what your goals are. If there is a time that you're like, I want to purchase this, if you are reminded of your goals, you may start prioritizing. Your thought process may be a little bit different if that purchase is important, if that's part of the goal that you set for you and your family. So those are some ideas of, routines that will help in winning the day.
So just one question. So like so many of our accounts these days, we have our credit card like totally connected to them. Do you think we should like disconnect our credit card? Like I know our
No.
Amazon account,
Oh.
and like just some other shopping accounts. I think it's so easy because it's like, well, it's just a couple of clicks and boom, and you're out $50.
So ask that again. You said to disconnect those, like no longer have those accounts?
Well, no, just to remove your credit card from them. So you would have to go into your wallet to get the credit card out. So it'd be like another step.
Well, I mean, I think it really depends on the individual and how disciplined you are, because some people utilize credit card expenditures to build their credit. So it really depends on that individual, what they need. What I would say, if you do have your credit card attached to easy accessible purchases, that it's within your budget. If it's not, if you don't find yourself as disciplined to do that, I would definitely disconnect it and set a budget aside and say, okay, I have $50 this month. I can utilize that or spending on Amazon, and it keeps that limitation. But to re-emphasize, I think it really depends on the individual.
Okay. Good tip.
So setting routines to win a day for wellness.
Okay, so I truly think if you set out your workout clothes, it's like setting out your intention for the day. So in order for you to be successful, it is so much easier for you to have those workout clothes and for you to go ahead and get started. I'm a morning person, so I always do everything in the morning, whereas other people love to do it in the evening. My sister-in-law, she works out right before she goes to bed. Like she works out, she showers, and then she goes to bed. And she says that she gets the best sleep ever in her life. So I think it really depends on the individual. But if you leave out your workout clothes, they are a constant reminder that you need to do this. And view your workout as quality time spent with yourself. I think so much of this season, we are serving other people. We are, helping our husband, helping our kiddos, being all that in a bag of chips at work, all of the things. But what ends up happening is we never actually spend time with ourselves. And that's how I view my workout. This is my time to spend with myself. So have a workout plan. Hydration is key. I think everybody, I know I love to drink all the things. I'm like everybody else. I love sweet tea. Back in the day, I did like soda, stuff like that. I think you need to go ahead and hydrate with only water, because the majority of the time you're going to feel that you're hungry, but in actuality, you're thirsty. And then food choices. When throughout the day are you struggling with food choices? If I don't pack my lunch, it is not going to go well. 1, 2, I know that food choices for some people during the week are pretty good, but then on the weekends, well, I just completely fall off. I have that party, I have that alcohol, and then come Monday morning, I feel like all draggy and totally like spent. Think about when you're struggling with your food choices and why. Is it because you're tired? Is it because you're stressed out? Is it because you're like, well, it's the weekend, it's just going to be a couple of drinks, and a couple of drinks always means some food, and then it gets all out of control. So make sure that you're kind of doing that check and balances just with your health and wellness, because it just a couple of small changes or adjustments, and then you're losing 10 pounds. So I have a member of my boot camp a member of my boot camp, and she lost 10 pounds over the holidays. Like, I don't know of a more crazy time to lose 10 pounds when everybody else is enjoying all the things. But kudos to her, because she lost that in the month of December, and I was like super proud of her and happy for her. So post evaluation, so measurements per month. It's going to be really important because you're going to see those inches disappear. So remember, muscle is going to weigh more than fat. So the scale is kind of a slippery slope. You want to go ahead and make sure that you are looking at your measurements and seeing what looks different. How do your jeans fit different? How does this blouse look different? Now I'm able to lift more, that type of thing, because that's going to be huge. You want to also track your food. Your food is going to be like your little diary of how you're doing. And then what time of day are you stressed out or tired? We were in discussion because we had grades due last week, and I was like super stressed out, and we got like some just crazy news throughout the week, and again, super stressed out. And of course, I would want to enjoy a nice adult beverage at home and also have a really unhealthy dinner, but I had to deal with everything emotionally, which was good, but it was a challenge. I was like, I just want a margarita and chips and guacamole, like, and leave me alone. Check back with me in 2 hours and we'll see how I'm doing, because I was there with that week. And just, I can totally attest to that, because I was just like, it's like everything was coming at me at once. And I know for a lot of individuals, that's how you feel every week. That's the thing. Once you start identifying their triggers, once you start identifying those, you can be like, you know what? This is not on me. This is on you, invisible you, and you are going to have to deal with it. I'm dealing with me, you're dealing with you. Like, let's keep them separate, that type of thing. Because so many things in this season we don't have control over. And I want us to feel empowered to make those choices and say, you need to deal with this and I will deal with myself. And it's okay that we're separate right now, but that's how it's got to be.
Our services.
So at Hellmann's Healthy Hacienda, so I have a variety of free resources. I have a snack PDF. I have free workouts. I also have a sample workout if you want to check it out. And then I run a free community that's called Finding a Better You.
And with JASI Behavioral Coaches Services, we offer spiritual, relationship type coaching, as well as for your finances and youth life skills. And as you see here, JASI Team linked on our Facebook. If you just type in JASI Team, we will pop up there where you have a plethora of videos and all those different categories, and some more insight on the coaching services that we provide. Well, y'all, that concludes our segment 3 of Mindful Mondays. We hope to see you again next Monday, same time, 8 p.m.
Bye.